My name's John. Welcome to the Galt-Works channel and the first in a series of videos trying to capture some of the lessons learned of the 2018 election cycle. In today's video, Dan Fishman will talk about messaging and how you need to adjust your message to reach all possible voters, not just other libertarians. He will also talk a little bit about the fear that the two parties have instilled in even some of the most well-educated voters out there. We shot over 2 hours worth of video, but I'm trying to break them up and keep them short enough that people might actually watch them and hopefully learn something from them.
One of the interesting things that came to me, and in August I quit my job so that I could run full time, and I went to a lot of events. And specifically, I went to events where I didn't know whether or not it would be well received because I knew I had to pick up those votes if I were going to win. And that's an important thing that a candidate has to do, and it's one of the things that libertarian candidates struggle at, is recognizing the fact that you have to find a way to reach the people who are not traditionally going to vote for you. Because if you don't, we're going to get a traditional outcome, and the traditional outcome is libertarian finishing in the single digits. So one of the places I went was to a League of Women Voters meeting in Wellesley, Massachusetts. For those of you who are not familiar, Wellesley is, Massachusetts, we are a very liberal state, very democratically dominated state. We refer to California as those red fascists. So when I say I'm going to a very democratic city in a very democratic state, yeah, it's essentially socialism, communism at the city level. But I got to pick up those votes. And so I went out there and I gave them my spiel. And if you're a good candidate and you've been spending a lot of time, you know when you're reaching the people that you're speaking to. And you're probably adjusting what you are saying so that you can get the right message out to them. So I can tell that I am reaching this crowd. And at the end of my spiel, and their heads nodding in the audience, at the end of my spiel, a woman stands up, she says, "Dan, I want you to know, I think you'd be a great auditor. I think you're the best candidate running. But the party has told me that if I don't vote blue all the way down, that shows a weakness in the Democratic Party, and that enables Donald Trump to build the wall." And everybody in the audience started clapping. And that's when I realized the parties have succeeded at their wildest dreams, which is polarizing us so much that even intelligent people, and we're talking about, League of Women Voters, people who actually pride themselves on critical thinking. And I'm unable to convince them that in a race for state auditor, they should vote for the candidate that they think is dominatingly the best. And when I say dominatingly the best, I was endorsed by all the major papers in Massachusetts. I was endorsed by the Boston Globe, the first time they've ever endorsed a libertarian. I was endorsed by Governor Weld. I was endorsed by candidates from both parties across the state. And yet, I could not crack 4.5%. The opportunity to get out there and talk about the issues helped me refine my message. So my candidacy, which started in October of 2017, was so much better. It was 1 year's worth better in October of 2018. I started off with a message of the referee shouldn't be wearing the jersey of one of the teams. At the time, we thought that's a great message.
Stop the game. These balls are underinflated.
That shouldn't happen. My name is Dan Fishman. I'm running for auditor in the state of Massachusetts. The red team and the blue team are playing political football with our money. The auditor is supposed to be the referee, and the referee shouldn't be wearing a jersey of one of the teams. You want to make a difference? You want to change Massachusetts? You can vote for me on November 6th. Dan Fishman for auditor. Thank you. I'm Dan Fishman, and I approve this message. When I was marching in a parade, we were marching and we were going past people relatively quickly, and I realized I had to have a better pitch, something that took less time to say. And so I wanted to say, why would you vote for these other people? You should vote for me. What's unique about me? Well, the thing that's most unique about me is I'm a libertarian. And I don't have time in 30 seconds, in a minute, to tell people what a libertarian is. So instead, I came up with a message that I thought hit everything that I wanted to say in a minute, and hopefully would leave them wanting more. And so my message became, why would you elect a Republican or a Democrat to audit Republicans and Democrats? And that worked. Every person who heard that looked at me like, that's a really good point. I said it to Charlie Baker, who won the governor's office, who was a Republican. He liked it. He thought it was a great message. Putting all those things together, finding a way to get the message out that's going to reach the voters, that's part of what's involved in being a serious candidate.
If you like this video, please support the channel. The most direct way you can support is through Patreon. If you can't support financially, please subscribe to the channel and like this video and share it with your friends. It gets me closer to being able to monetize this channel. If you are a candidate or activist and you have lessons learned that you want to share, please reach out to me at john@galt-works.com. This is the first in a series of videos that will hopefully help candidates become better prepared and run better campaigns for the 2020 election cycle. And remember, freedom works for everyone.